follow it up.
There has been a criticism in the past in that he sits back and admires his work sometimes when he should be in there punishing.
Yes, I thought Contreras would come forward, but he's a bit like his last opponent, his last Argentinian opponent. He's a picker and boxes from the centre of the ring to move back. So I thought it would be more exciting and he would come forward and attack Eubanks, because that's actually suits Eubanks. He doesn't like coming forward himself. He likes his opponent to come forward again. Referee's warning him again.
Eubank looks set on landing some big right crosses here. Stalking, as you can see, but normally jabs quite freely early on, but here he looks set to want to land a big right hand. Eubanks that if he carries on the way he's going, he could be fighting Mike McCallum for the world title in the summer.
That's a daunting thought.
As Eubank dismissed that fight against Michael Watson, says he doesn't rate Michael Watson at all, doesn't rate Nigel Bennett at all. The only fighter, the only middleweight he recognises from Britain is Harold Graham.
Contreras had trouble making the weight this morning, and I'm wondering has that had an effect on him, because he's not very aggressive himself and he's not throwing a lot of punches. His main ambition at the moment is to survive, but he's not very exciting for the crowd. And there you go, just as I said, that was a spirited performance for him.
The right cross. Follow up left. Eubank again doing his best work at the end of the round. There's Contreras, who had an interesting morning. Alongside me here is Chris Catlin, the former Brighton and Hove Albion manager, and he has a rock shop, or a series of them at the front, and Contreras actually walked along the front this morning, bought some cough candy, and Chris said he then went to the weigh-in and wasn't surprised to learn that Contreras was 1.5 pounds overweight. And he had to get on that gym bike and sweat it off, which can't have done him any good.
Yeah, it's not surprising if he was eating rock this morning, which seems a totally unprofessional thing to do. But there you go, he obviously was overconfident, thought that he could make the weight.
So round 5 of this WBC International Middleweight Championship. The champion, Chris Eubank, well on top at the moment. Won all 4 rounds without any difficulty at all, but unable to make any real impression.
Eubanks has got to step up on top of him and start throwing punches. Contreras has cut over the left eye. Quite a nasty looking cut too.
Sounds like a nasty cut.
That's scored Eubanks on.
It's amazing what it can do psychologically, isn't it?
Yes, it's amazing the confidence it can give you if you see your opponent cut. Give you a surge of energy that you thought you hadn't got. And you at early stages in the fight, and you may be able to stem the flow. I can't see how bad that cut is at this stage. It's in an awkward place. The blood is running into his eye, which won't be doing him any favours.
It doesn't have a deep cut at the moment, as you say, in an awkward place. Eubank's got a target, and he's aiming for it pretty successfully.
When I boxed opponents like that, I was always told, the fellas who moved their head well, I was always told to punch for their chest, because if you punch for their chest, you'll hit something. If you punch for their head, you won't hit anything at all. So I think that's what Eubanks has got to do. He's got to aim for his chest and then hit something.
Good shot, that one.
Nice right uppercut. This guy takes his shot. He's got to keep on top of him and throwing punches. That's the way to do it. Come forward, Eubank.
Again, the last half minute sees the best action. Get some real weighty blows there from the champion. Again, they go to work hard in Eubank's corner. He is a nightmare to train, I understand.
I can imagine so.
Not one of the world's greatest listeners.
Well, he's not a listener, but he certainly has got lots of talent. You know, he does everything right. It's just, he doesn't seem to enjoy coming forward. And watch these flurry of punches here. When he does start to unload, they're very good. That's why I can't understand why he doesn't keep them up.
It's a mean uppercut.
Yeah, very mean uppercut and a left hook after it.
And in Contreras' corner, just tending to the eye. It's just looked like he's complaining it was an elbow. And signaling to the referee, Louis Michel, that it was an elbow. And he looks a bit fed up with it. But he needs to concentrate on trying to win this fight around. At the moment, it's rapidly going away from him.
My advice to Eubanks at this stage would be to double the jab up and aim for his chest with that right hand, and he'll hit something. Has him in trouble with that uppercut. But as we've been saying, he's laid back, he hasn't continued. He's got to keep the onslaught coming.
Signs of the elbow going in again.
See what I'm saying about loading? He missed him by a mile there with that left hook, because he's loading up. He should be letting the punches flow, and the power will come as the fight goes on. If Eubank is waiting for this fella to come forward, he'll be waiting all night. He's got to go to him and start taking the fight to him with lots of straight punches for the chest. Just like that. He's really doing it now, and he's effective when he comes forward.
Insult to his ego, and Contreras may pay for that. Good shot. Best action of the fight so far. And at last the crowd on their feet, and again the uppercut counting, and he very nearly went there. Now he needs to pressure.
See, none of those punches actually landed. He's got to keep the pressure up, just as you say, Simon. He's got to stay on top of him with those jabs, smack the jab for his chest, and let the punches go.
And the cut opens on the edge of Contreras' left eyebrow.
Only Heineken can do this.
Now, will Eubank respond to that criticism and really show us a full round of what he's capable of? He made the weight pretty comfortably, as opposed to Contreras, but I wonder if there's a nagging doubt about his stamina within himself.
Yeah, maybe so, but you know, he's shown. I just thought about that a couple of minutes ago about his condition. Maybe he doesn't like being aggressive. Obviously not, because it's just. Mind you, having said that, now he's starting to open up, and you see the success he's having.
This is
an exciting fight now. Here we go. Good stuff from Eubank. Contreras is in trouble. Oh, beautiful right hand.
Now, will he follow it up? This is what's been lacking before. He stood back.
Oh, another beautiful right hand again.
And this is brilliant stuff from this wonderful talent. Really teeing off now.
It's very impressive work there. Just keep it up now, Eubanks, and stop this guy. You must also remember that Eubanks has never gone beyond 8 rounds. That could be a telling factor. Just once in the past.
That may be why he restrained himself early on, but it's pretty unrestrained now. And Contreras is taking the shots well.
Yeah, he takes a shot very typical Argentinian, very tough, can absorb a punch. Eubanks is certainly making an impression at this stage. He's got to keep it up, but he hasn't thrown a punch for the last half a minute. You see, he can't afford to do that. How can he do that? Afford to get away with that sort of tactics against McCallum or someone like Nunes? Got to be more aggressive.
Yes, the best round so far by a long way. And the corners, cajoling really got him going. And Contreras now looking a little more tired, looking more like he's been in a fight now.
Round 10.
3 rounds to go. And on my card, Eubank has won all 9 so far. And it will be a tall order to stop this guy. Twice went the distance with Juan Roldan. And it will be quite a scalp if Eubank can do it. But so far, no signs. He's never been under the severest pressure or in real trouble.
The Argentinian takes such a good shot. He's prepared to absorb a few and then slip back out of the way and avoid them. If Eubank stayed on top of him, he'd hit him with far more, just like he's doing now. He's got to keep that up.
Yes, he'll go if he's tired, won't he? And at the moment, there's not enough work from Eubank to make him tired.
He's coming back himself now with punches. think what you said is right. Eubanks prefers quality than quantity, and he's not a guy who likes to come forward and throw punches. He just likes to pick his shots and place them, and with a fellow who's been negative, the fight turns out to be boring. Contreras is not here. He's not here like a challenger wanting to win the title. He's no interest in going forward and being aggressive like you do to win a title. He's just here to survive, which is a negative approach.
It's ranked 28 by the WBC, so qualifying for this championship for those between 10 and 30.
It's the first time Eubanks has thrown a body punch. I think if he had concentrated on those earlier on, he could have slowed the guy down.
Really teeing off again. The Contreras is so tough and so game. Referee Louis Michel telling him to hit with a knuckle part of the glove. So 2 rounds to go, and Contreras has been everything we thought he would be. We thought he might be a bit more aggressive, but he's certainly very durable, takes a good shot, and has given Eubank plenty to think about. But this hasn't really been the performance that we'd hoped for from this man. We know he's talented, he's shown it in spurts, but as we've said, not with any great consistency, and I don't think this will worry the supporters of Nigel Benn too much.
Here we have Contreras coming back. In fact, Contreras looked more positive in that round than he has looked all the way through the fight. And maybe he feels that Eubanks is tiring, and it certainly looks that way from here. Eubanks has been, firing punches and busts.
So uncharted territory now for Chris Eubank. Hasn't been the most grueling fight for him, so he should have plenty of petrol in the tank.
Contreras is in trouble there. He looks decidedly shaky.
Complaining he got hit round the back of the head. Again, the elbow was going in. Shakes his head, but I think Eubank senses he might be towering at last.
Good work from Eubank.
And whatever Eubank throws at him, Contreras just shakes it off.
He's very good at slipping punches, and although it looks from here that the punches are effective, he's just moving his head at the right time, and the punches actually graze off, so nothing has landed solidly on him so far. He's the most frustrating. He's the type of guy that nobody wants to fight, moving away and just prepared to survive, and that's all. Very hard and difficult to look good against a guy like that. It's a nice left hook from Eubank. Eubank does not throw body punches.
Contreras starting to slow, but again, no real pressure from Eubank. But at last, signs of wear and tear. So the 11th round and the 11th round that he's won in a row. Chris Eubank, just one to go. Put you on the spot here, Barry. Of the plethora of talent we have in the middleweight ranks with Harold Graham and Nigel Benn, Michael Watson, who'd you rate the highest, and where would you put this guy in with them?
It's a difficult question to answer inside a minute's rest between rounds, but I think, you know, at times Eubank looks absolutely fantastic, and other times he looks decidedly average, so it's hard to tell, but he certainly has got the talent to be the best middleweight in the country. The best defensive fighter is Harold Graham. I would certainly rate him alongside Nigel Benn and Michael Watson. Eubank certainly would.
But under Harold Graham.
And last round.
One round to go. And in many ways a frustrating night, both for the crowd and for Eubank. Contreras has come to defend, and he's defended well, taken some pretty fierce bombardment, but he's still there, and Eubank doesn't like it.
Eubank looks like he's come out to have an impressive finish, and that's what we need.
Work coming at the end, and Contreras is beginning to feel the weight of the punches and the struggle to make the weight. Great left hook.
That's the way he's got to do it. Throw punches to the body and to the head. Rattle the combinations up and down. And he really is doing that now in the last round.
Contreras looking to hold now.
Beautiful left uppercut. Wonderful punch. Has him in trouble.
And he's holding on in earnest now and trying to gain time by complaining at referee Michel. But he's going to hang on.
20 seconds ago, I don't think Eubank can finish it. It was a great round. That's his best round so far. So Eubank finishes it off in style, and the boos ringing out, I think, really
more aimed at Eduardo Contreras than anything else.
He's won the fight by the proverbial mile, but not what the crowd expected, and certainly not what I expected.
Is this going to be win 22 in a row for Chris Eubank?
We have a unanimous decision. Referee Louis Michel scores the contest 120-109. Bob Logis scores 120-109. Fernando Paredes scores 120-112. The undefeated international middleweight champion, Chris Eubank.
Muted applause. In bursts, he was a superb talent, but in the end, Chris Eubank holds on to his WBC international middleweight title, and it's win 22 in a row for the young man.
Chris, your promoter has promised you a world title fight if you look good tonight, but how did you really think you looked?
I looked all right. You must take into consideration the slipperiness of this opponent. I hadn't seen him beforehand. He was very slippery. I tried very hard the first 4 rounds, after which I just began to coast and
But you're
box with
saying you're
him.
the best middleweight and you're going for a world title fight. You're going to meet far better world champions than this fellow who's only 28th and he's over the hill, really.
Well, that may be a fact. A fact also remains that this man was slippery. Mike McCallum won't be so slippery. He'll come to fight. This man came to, what's the word, bluff.
Survive, actually.
Survive, bluff. He made me look quite bad in
With
front of my
respect,
home
Chris,
crowd.
Mike McCallum is in a different class. Now, you showed some skills there, but why can't you put it together more consistently? Because that is what's going to make you a champion eventually, if you can do that.
Because I only can react to the way he acts. And the way he was acting was rather distressing, in that he was just bluffing and coaxing and not really wanting to do work. He couldn't trouble me from first round, I knew that. The fact is, he was just very slippery, and I did not see him on tape, being as how it was a late replacement. All I can say is, you know who the man is.
Do you think you need some more
can I just
experience,
say,
though?
May I just say?
Yes.
I still have it to prove. I'm still undefeated in 22 fights. I think I'm prepared, and I think it should be given to me a world title shot, which it will be, regardless of what the media says. You, the media, it seems, always say I'm arrogant and overconfident. I am assertive. I'm not overconfident, and I'm not arrogant.
But if you're finding people like that difficult, Chris, just trying to look at it objectively at the moment, you're not ready for world title fights against Michael Nunn or Mike McCallum or Julian Jackson.
Well, you put it in such a way where it shows me immediately that you know nothing about boxing, in that this opponent did not come to fight, he came to mess me around, which he did, okay? It was a good performance by him, not by me. I'll get better. I'll get better like wine matures. Believe it, you know? I could not do anything against such an opponent tonight, which you could clearly see. A bad performance, in light of the fact that most people on the way up to a world title shot are looking devastating. I've always choose to pick my shots anyway. I'm undefeated. That states it enough, and this belt states it enough.
It's a pretty good scrap, wasn't it? Chris